Not-Leonardo Spring is from a third-party company looking to tug on those Ninja Turtles nostalgia strings. Not to be confused with Crocker's home, Fury Planet. Fury Toys offering looks like it could fit right in with Crocker. But can another third-party company offer more than just a Ninja Turtles knockoff?
Shut up and sit down.
Hey you Skellywags, today we're having a look at Not-Leonardo from Not Ninja Turtles and the custom kit you can get to make him more like Not-Leonardo. So this is the box, a very fancy box, Ancient Power Samurai Animals Spring by Fury Toys, 1/12 scale collection. But I think actually would work well with 118. From what I've seen in the images. A very impressive box. Choking hazard. This is adult collection, not toy. Small parts, not for children under 15 years old. Well, at least we know the money wasn't spent on packaging or typo checking. Samurai Animals, 1/12 scale handmade figure. Already this screams prestige. And there we go. Ooh. It's a good thing this is not relying on the box art to sell the figure. Let's get him out. If I was casually strolling in the shop and I came across that box, I would not expect to find this figure inside. This thing is amazing. Level of work gone into this. So here's the custom kit you get with it too. Very unappealing again. But it's what's inside that counts. Well, there you go. That's the bits inside. But we'll have a look into that along with him in more detail right now. So here's everything all laid out with the box holding Spring and his contents on the left and the custom kit contents on the right to turn him into a more ninja kind of turtle. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Each of these custom kits comes with each purchase of Spring, as far as I'm aware. Let's take a look at Spring. See how awesome he looks. Just the paint apps straight away. You can tell they've done a good job with the wash and weathering and all sorts going on here. And no like paint bleed as far as I can see. The detail is really, really great for a third-party company as well. Really, really impressive. And soft goods. It's the kind of stuff that you wish other companies would do. But I'm glad someone out there is doing something like this. Look at all the details on that turtle shell. There's little bumps there on his skin. Those ninja stars. Done so well. The buckles. Everywhere looking awesome. Bit stiff, so I would suggest heating up joints. Yeah, look at that. Scale-wise, he is supposed to be 1/12 scale, but I think it'll work really well in my 118. Look at that little thing. That's his tail, by the way. Underneath here, So just like Maestro Union's Crocker, they've really gone all in on the detail on this figure. Just everywhere you look, even underneath here, the shell, continued detail. Articulation, the head's hindered with this shoulder bit. There is still a little bit of movement though. By the way, I did heat up joints. I recommend you do the same. Some movement there, look, docky docky. So you are going to be able to move this head around quite nicely. The arm goes up, a little bit hindered by that shoulder pad. Here we'll go a bit further up. So good. See that? Here, the bend just shy of 90. Same on this side, unfortunately. Twist, no shout. Double ball joint for the wrists. Here, the waist, you can see how it moves. The upper bit holding the shell. It's alright. Jean-Claude! Oh, you can see how uneven that is. I think he's turtling. Seems to be a bit more give on the right there than on the left. I think Robo had the same issue from when I watched his review. Let me know if you've had the same problem there. The twist you'll find at the joint, not so great on this side. Better here though. Up, about there. You kind of have to angle it so it goes further up. And this is easier to go up, has more range, as you can see. Back there, slight angle as well. Can do that too for this one, but not as high. Turtle domination. Double bend at the knee, which is good. Same for this side. Pivot there. Down. Which is good. Up. Alright, actually, not a bit hindered, but alright. Same here. That bit of paint chipping on mine, that blue should be. And up. All in all, some good articulation, a bit strange with the hip joints there. Let's look at his accessories and do a bit of posing. Straight out of the box, you will find some very stiff joints in places. I wouldn't push them necessarily. Use heat, hot water or hairdryer to loosen up those joints. That way things will be a lot smoother. So although there are going to be some limitations, particularly with the legs here, it doesn't prevent you from being able to get in a load of different poses, like bending like that. It is angled slightly, but you can adjust with the feet. I never once found myself pumping my fist to the sky, wishing they'd made the articulation better, which is a good sign, I'd say. Here are his, I think they're kunai, which look really good. Just simply slot that in this hole. Again with these third parties, holes are goals. And the same for here. I'll put it on backwards. There. Looking rather cool. Slicey things. Don't know what they're called, but they slice and dice things. They look quite menacing. Got a holder at the bottom. And these also go into the holes, of course. Slot in very nicely. He's ready to do terrible turtle things. Because of his large feet, you can balance him quite well. It's a large surface area for him to balance on, as long as you get the right balance. Chain here with a little bit at the top. Very generous length. That's what she said. And you've got to use that to pop it in the hole. See there. But this bit is a bit too large for the hand hole. You've got to have it in the hand first and do that, but I'll find another way. Hands. Additional hands from the custom kit. Open, splayed out, hands. Pop these in. Heat those joints. Get this head off. Whee! Scarf off. Get away. Here is the quote-unquote ninja head. Looking quite mean. The soft goods bit back there. So have a look at you both. Bendy, by the way, up here. There. The helmet does look a lot bigger than the unhelmeted head. Just pop that in that ball. There he goes. Yeah, like this. Does look great like that too. I think that'll fit really well with the 118 with the size of the head too. A little bit more range of movement with this head, of course. There's less on it, so it can go up a bit more, tilt more. Looks left and right. Yeah, good look. Huge hands, tiny head, massive shell. Very nice secondary look. What about the weapons? Here we have two katanas, I think, swords. Well, there's katanas in the sheaths. Very nice. They simply pop in the back. Again, more holes to use and abuse. Looking good. Slide in. Slide in there too. Look at that. There's a little bit of a, yeah, bit there. Same on both. I wonder if that's on purpose. Pose. It's like trying to get his hair out of the way. Looking badass with his katanas. Awesome weapons to include. So I wonder if including these custom parts separately, if that's their way of getting around any kind of trademarks or something. I don't know. Not really sure how that stuff sort of works, but I'm glad they did, and that they're just part of the figure when you get him anyway. They just add those on, and he looks really great in this secondary look as well. Much has been said about the size of Spring and how he scales against 1/12 scale figures. I'll do a few comparisons there, but I'll also show against a few 1/18 scale figures, and I think he works rather well. But we'll do both versions of Spring so we get to see how that looks against these figures. On the left we have Shredder Stroke Green Ranger, and the right we have the Last Ronin, the PX exclusive version. I think he works better with this Last Ronin, and the Samurai version with both. The Samurai version would work good with that Shredder than the other version of Spring, the more Leonardo version, but works well in both with Last Ronin. From Joytoy we have the Sorrow Expeditionary Forces exosuit on the left, the Sorry mecha, and on the right we have Marvel Legends Spiral. Both look good with the Samurai version of Spring. Ninja version here I think works better with the 1/18 scale, but it still would work with Spiral there, I think. Grey Knight's Hammer Guy on the left, Terminator, and a Black Templar Space Marine on the right. I think this looks really good with Warhammer figures, 1/18 scale. Samurai version also works very well with Joytoy's 1/18 scale Warhammer 40k figures. Star Wars Vintage Collection 3.75 inch Dark Trooper on the left. He looks a bit bigger than the Dark Trooper with the Samurai get-up. And Tau Fire Warrior on the right from Joytoy. With this version, he looks, I think, still looks better against the Tau Empire Fire Warrior figure on the right from Joytoy. Now, a team up I thought of immediately when I got this figure is with Tuxin Shen on the right and Yu Yu Keen on the left from Joytoy's Jiang Hu line. Looking really great together there. And finally, all suited and booted together, looking really awesome with a samurai look and yeah, the hats there on these two figures. Final thoughts. So just like the Crocker figure, which is Fury Planet from Maestro Union and not Fury Toys, this is a very versatile figure. So is similar in that way to Crocker, in that it can work in both 1/12 scale and 1/18 scale. But to me, I feel that this figure actually works better with 1/18. I would not be surprised if it was intended really for 1/18, but they've marketed it for 1/12 scale because, let's face it, 1/18 scale is a very small community, pun intended. And you wouldn't get figureheads like Robo, Unparalleled Universe. Oh, actually, Unparalleled Universe would probably buy it anyway if it was 1/18. But yeah, people like Robo and others wouldn't buy it if it were marketed at 1/18. So for those of you who are 1/18 scale collectors like myself, I would say definitely grab this if you're interested, as I think he would work well with your collection. Of course, being from a third party company, it doesn't have the kind of polish you'll find from other figures or other lines and other brands. But for what it's worth, this guy's amazing. Obviously, as with any figure, not perfect, but there's more good here to balance out any negatives that I've had with this figure. I've already pre-ordered the Donatello that's been announced and the Splinter, and there's also this, I think, baby turtle pack thing that's coming out. I've pre-ordered too, so I'm all in. Right, anyway, check the description for links to places you can go to purchase stuff. This one I don't have a link to though. I think you can get them from 5K Toys still, maybe a few other places. So check those out. But yeah, use my links to support the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe as well if you haven't already. Loads of other videos on the way, which I'm working on, and I'll scale you later.